time. Let's jump into the draft.
We can see Team Hack on the blue side as well as the Valley on the red. And so far, 2 bans have already been set in stone. Kaja, Martis being banned away by Team Hack, whereas from the Valley, we have the Fanny as well as that Diggy ban.
A lot of Prio bans, but that Diggy ban here, Gideon, it seems like respects the Valley. They are trying to set things up. Perhaps, potentially, we might see an Atlas split pick here.
No, you're absolutely right here, Gani. This is something that, this is something that Team Hawk is known for, especially for Min. He's turned games around with the Atlas before, but it's not something that I feel like the Valley doesn't know about, right? So they want to open up more options. The question is, do they want to deny options or open up the field even more? I think this is the decision, to open up that field, to make sure that Super Strike feels as comfortable as possible. Even if he doesn't get the Lolita, at the very least, he's looking for those hard engages or maybe even disengages.
But on that note, you're right? There's so many heroes that are still opened up here. The Valley, now I'm lost. Now I'm lost in my train of thought. I was going to say the Valley and the Hawk, but what I meant to say was the Glue is still opened up for grabs. The Carry, the Valentina, so many options here, and because of this Glue being banned, Team Hack, they're going to have the first to choose, but the 1-1 is their priority.
All right.
Looking at this, I personally feel like the Valley will open up Lolita for Shark, and possibly can Valentina work here? The Eve! We forgot about the Eve.
Look, I was going to say, would the Valentina work here? I was like, we don't really see too much of it just yet, and you don't really want to draft around it. It's something that Malaysians are very comfortable with, and especially with the Valley, I think they're going to stick to their own game plan regardless, right? But now, looking at 2 really powerful ults here, the Eve and as well as the Lolita. We saw previously in Echo's matchup, when you have something like Valentina, you don't necessarily have to take, the Yuzong ult to get access to multiple abilities. A Numenon Blast could really set the pace of the game.
Here you go. Guess now with the Eve and Lolita, just like you said, it's a very heavy ult, but then again, they need level 4. So I guess they will wait it out perhaps after first hurdle, before first hurdle, they need to manipulate the wave so they can get level 4. But Team Hack, after some time, they have responded with a Kadita pick and as well as Dairo's pick. Now, I personally like the Kadita. Why? It just adds more spice and crowd control.
I mean, it's a two-way sword, right? It's a double-edged sword. We've seen the Kadita do wonders, but on the other side, it has failed if you can't be able to get that early game snowball. But with now the Akai being picked up for the Valley, it still sets precedent that they may have an upper hand when it comes down to those neutral objective takes. Now we are entering the second phase of the ban and picks. The Cho is going to be eliminated. Now, Team Hack, what do you think they're going to be banning next?
Look, if I had to judge the trios that we are seeing on board right now, and we have to compare the jungler specifically, I would say the Valley definitely has a significant advantage because I'm expecting Dairoth to go into that jungle. Yes, it is flexible. It can go into the EXP lane, and that's something that Team Hawk really needs to think about because Boba Zane has been performing relatively well. We haven't seen enough of him yet to boost up his stats, but expect his average KDA to change.
I personally agree with you. I mean, Akai itself is just a good hero, prominent hero to securing that neutral objective, and in the hands of Zane, it's just so efficient yet so effective. And now Hawk, they are looking to limit the option for the marksmen. I expect them to ban out the carry last, but the Valley, their game plan is also straightforward. They want to limit crowd control because remember that Kadita is already there, so they do not want to add more. With the Cho, with the Franco, they banned it out, and yeah, as expected, carry banned out.
You're right. I didn't realize that the carry was survived up until this second phase. I would have thought that someone would have taken it in that first phase, and I'm excited to see what that next pick was from the side of the Valley to see exactly how they're starting to round things up. But it is a Grok, and this Grok is also flex potential.
Yeah, I think Grok is really, really smart of the Valley to deny Team Hawk because I was thinking, okay, there's only a couple of things that really work out specifically for Hawk to counter this particular composition, and Grok came up to mind, even Cho, but that's arguable, and I really love the simplicity of that Grok. So well done to the Valley. They're looking really good right now. Whoa, the change of pace.
Oh, both teams, they're sticking to what they know best, right? With the Hilda being picked up, denying that as well away from the Valley. This is interesting, right? So who is going to be able to pressure that lane in that jungle, realizing that the Valley still has one more pick up, and it should be the gold lane. It sounds like the Irithel. So they're trying to counter the Wanwan in that lane, and they also have the Lolita to counter the Wanwan as well.
Very clear that the side of the Valley, they want to go front to back, right? I mean, that Grok, it doesn't have to build tank. Remember, we saw a lot of high and dry Grok. So with Lolita and as well as Akai, who will definitely build tank, my guess is that Grok will build high damage.
I don't know. This game is stressing me out, man. I feel my voice just lock up in my throat. Both teams are phenomenal at what they do. They are champions for a reason, but only one of them gets to go to the upper bracket.
We'll see who it is going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, are you Team The Valley or are you Team Hack? Put your predictions in the comments section as we are moments away of getting into the land of Dawn. But Gani, predictions before we get in.
Personally, looking at the composition, I'm going to go with the Valley.
Okay, we'll wait for Gideon later. But ladies and gentlemen, let's go straight into the land of Dawn to see who will claim the next upper bracket seat.
Let's jump right on into it. As we saw, as we were jumping into the land of Dawn, Grok is already slowing down and actually helping Moba Zane with a quick leash of his own. But slowing down that mid lane purposefully to make sure that Yves has a good time and can hit level 2 without getting too much harassment or threatened by specifically Kadita.
Oh, I'm actually quite surprised. Actually, Shark is going to be able to opt for that mid side, so he wants to pressure Man a little bit more. And I'm surprised because they're not... Wait, is there a lane swap?
Oh, yeah. I'm feeling like Malaysia's going to be known for lane swaps. Like, this is becoming our staple strategy at this point.
So lane swap is going to happen here. And when we see that going against one another, who do you think has a favorable trade? But this might have to wait here. Min is going to get attacked in this mid side.
Seems like Lito will be comfortably taken by the side of Gary. But I do want to point out that Union Blast can be cancelled out and in reach with Kadita, right?
Yep.
Later
And I think,
on.
well, that's only later on. For now, it's all about the laning phase, right? Min should survive here. Okay, he is alive. Now, the laning phase, I definitely thought that Lola was going to play a big part in trying to take out this Grok overall, but Fried Chicken can definitely play a little bit more passive and focus on clearing those waves. So I think Team Hawk switching up these lanes actually is very beneficial because Dairoth naturally has a way to get on top of the Irithel regardless if she is using Queen's Calling and trying to get on out of there.
You can kind of see that happening. I mean, look at the way that they're positioning there in that bottom side. Irithel forced to really stick with the turret, love the turret a little bit more because Dairoth is just a huge nuance in that early game because of that base damage that he has.
Yeah, that's not all. This upcoming turtle is going to be quite the battle. I'm not sure if Team Hawk is going to look to contest it or whether or not they look to punish bottom side.
Let's see though, Moba Zane, Min, every member from the side of the Valley except for the goal leader is in the vicinity. Min trying to pressure Man, finds the Petrify and finds the first blood. Fried will go down. Gary will not be able to steal that one as Zane finds Min, pulls him back towards the backside, but not enough damage to take him down just yet.
Really?
Yeah.
It just really nicely played overall. I mean, Team Hawk understanding, and especially Gary understanding that he just has to try and contest it. Wait, Min, is he dead here?
Yeah, no sprints. I guess he will not be able to escape as Zane will collect the kill, but bot side. Woo.
Okay, so he dies on purpose to try and delay it. We already see that Basic is taking a bad trade, forced to push back, and therefore they're sending Hoon as well as Super Strike to actually compensate for the wave pushing down bot. Therefore, I'm guessing Team Hawk is most likely going to just focus on that farm, look to get the Little Wander, and then start pressing their advantages down on top side. But they notice there's no farm there. They can't do anything. The Valley is not one step ahead.
Well, taking a look at the emblems here, again, it's just standard. And the way I see things, even though that the turtle went towards the hands of the Valley, not much of a advantage that they got.
look, it's a slow start, but it's going to snowball out of control. We've seen this many times with many different teams. It's going to go back and forth. It really comes down to a decisive fight. And I don't think the Valley is going to take it this early on until they get those first items.
So right now, Min is being a huge nuisance to Mobazin there. I don't know how effective he is right now because he's not far behind Gary, but in the bottom side.
The dive potential jumps in. 1, 2, 3. Bye-bye, basic. Gary will pick up the kill, and on top of that, he will get extra goal. But now the re-engage from the Valley. They should not commit to this. I'll take a look at this 3v1. Super Shark will go down next. The Valley, they really need to be careful on this one.
Yeah, they cannot disrespect the Dairoth, and especially with the armor shred, it makes it so easy for someone like Ling to quickly cut down someone as tanky as Super Shark, who naturally has the base health as well as armor to protect himself.
Top side, everything. White Chicken, 1 HP. He gets almost gets taken down, but now Turtle Fight Gary gets low. He will be forced out of that vicinity. We'll see, can he make the steal? Zane, Shark is already on that turtle. 2,000, but he will not make it as Zane will find the second turtle.
They're doing well. So far, the Valley continuing to control the tempo for now. And yes, bottom side is on the loss. However, I did see Lola. He first item blade a Heptases. What a mad lad. He really wants to kill Basic here. So now the Valley is trying to unlock him from that bottom side. Maybe find some gold elsewhere on the map. No, still sticking to bottom side.
Seems like Panda is farming relatively well. Lola sends a danger Shark with the stun. Dune as well. Here combination comes in. Real revelation, but take a look at the damage. Shark, low HP. He will not fall, and it will be Lola. 3-on-1 is a little just too much, and Lola suffers a death bot side.
But remember here, Team Hack does have an advantage in those side lanes, so they are going to have a little bit more map pressure than the Valley for the moment. And you can already see the health in that tower in the top side, where Team Hack, they're looking to get another one. But look at the delay coming in from White Chicken. He's trying to do his best to delay it. Unfortunately, it isn't going to be enough.
Another objective falls into the side of Team Hawk. And honestly, the Valley, at this point, the laning phase is done and dusted. The question is, where do you find the gold effectively and safely? Oh no.
Take a look at the setup here. Mint falls, and now Gary, Tempest of Blade just to escape. But take a look at that Hurricane Dance. Finds the Ling, and there you go. Bang, bang, bang. The Valley responds in minute number 6.
A 2-for-0 trade in favor of the Valley. And who in their right mind would be able to pin the Ling there? It was beautiful, but look at this. Super Shark.
Crossbow of Tang finds Super Shark, and now the Valley, they slow down the tempo. They need to be careful here. They won the trade. Team Hack is just finding compensation.
Yeah, with Turtle coming up in about 5 more seconds. Right now, the difference maker is going to be Lola. Min has been struggling to get his harassments down, especially with the Valley playing very defensively. Hoon even opting to go for a Brute Force Breastplate as his very first item after the boots, of course, but he needs to live and needs to start scaling.
Here's Zane. Oh, take a look at the damage from the Dairoth, man. Heavy spin as a defense. Gary will confirm the last turtle in the Land of Dawn. And Gideon, things are looking good for the Malaysians here.
I'm not counting out the Valley just yet. Even though the tier 2s are going to start to fall, the lead doesn't seem to be too far away. It's only 1.77 minutes into the game. It's not that much. The next turtle comes, and now the fight begins.
Almost. Noon Blast not landing though. Ultimate resource, there's information. Hawk might go for the mid side, but Lola almost solo killing Zane there with the help of the conceal just to escape. Now mid side real manipulation just to fast clear. White Chicken misses the wild charge, and there you go, Team Hack with the disengage.
Yeah, it seems like Gary was able to get that blue buff away from Zane though, so it is a little advantage for themselves. They were leading 1,000, now already with a 2,000 gold lead as they continue to press, continue to set their own tempo, denying anything away from Team Valley. And once again, Gary being the ever-aggressive jungler.
You can see here already 5 members from the Valley is in the mid side, failed to defend the tier 1, and Lola, he is very intelligent, taking down the tier 2, while almost TV is just in time to defend that one. Oh, top side. Link Gary finds the red buff, and White Chicken cannot be able to find the kill.
Oh boy, this is well, at least for Team Hawk, they understand their composition has a lot of mobility, so the split push is going well, but we see this problem time and time again. At the end of the day, if this match goes up to 20 minutes, the Valley will eventually start to scale so much harder in comparison to Team Hawk. So right now, Team Hawk is on a timer, and they have to conclude this game as fast as possible.
Right now, we can see that Fried Chicken trying to clear that upper side, but in that 1v1 against Gary, he nearly took him down, so that's how much damage you can expect from a Grok with that particular emblem as well. And it's interesting, right? Because when we see the Ling, we can either see the jungle emblem or this assassin emblem, the killing spree, and the way that Gary has been using it, it really exemplifies how he wants to play in this game. But oh my god, Min still able to escape though.
A lot of resources were put out, and he still survived. But take a look, Lola already jumps in towards Zane just to zone it out. 10,000 in the HP Lord. Zane with the conceal will not be able on time, but Newnham last catches too, and now the fight begins. One by one, bodies falling, basics down, and now Team Hawk, they want war. They want Hoon here, who is covered by Shard, but crossbow of Tang by Panda. One by one, bye-bye. Panda finds the double.
Oh my goodness, I was stressing out there. I don't know about you, Eternal, but when you see a situation like that, you got what you want. You had your objective. You didn't have to fight, and yet they did.
They did, and they got the way better advantage as well. So props to Team Hack for that calculation. As you can see, the Lord is already marching down in that top side. We have 3 members, 4, 5 now up in the air, going to try and defend this. But I gotta say, the Valley, they have really good high ground aside from Panda, obviously from Team Hack.
Yeah, right now, Who needs to be very, very picky about when he uses that ult, right? His ult is the difference maker here, but here we go. Inhibitor in trouble.
Face turret with the defense. Real information pop. Heavy spin connecting on towards 2. No fall-off damage just yet. Basic. He wants to jump in. He needs to be careful as all of the minions is entering the base. But TV, well done. They managed to defend all 3 base turrets.
Beautiful defense. Beautiful defense. Mobazane looking to push as many people away as possible. Fly Chicken even dropping down the Guardian's Baron to ensure no engages are going to happen. And Hoon quickly dropping the real world manipulation to help clear that wave and pose as a threat.
Oh, come on. Quarter HP. Immediately gets out of there as TV still trying to find the right engage as Team Hack established a 5,000 gold lead. Equipment's what's going on there.
Looking at the items so far, Fly Chicken looks like he's going to be building a Blade of Despair really, really soon, but you can tell who has the advantage. And now, oh, are they going to find it? Is the Valley actually going to get the catch? No, they back off. And that's a good choice because right now Ling is in prime position with 3 items already under his belt. Man, Basic is going to have a really rough time without some support.
Man.
And they spawn man here. Oh, the second wall charge jumps in and the follow-up damage is just perfect. He falls as the Valley finds some slight compensation. Oh, take a look at 1-1 Panda. Trying to find the crossbow of Tang. Not yet, though. Playing this rather patiently as they realize that 30 seconds, the next Lord will spawn.
This is going to be really important for them. Team Hawk, 6.3k so far, but if TV is able to hold on, they have a chance to make the ultimate comeback here. But Team Hawk, oh, this is on a knife's edge, man. I don't know. This could really go both ways. I think that if... Here's my theory, right? I think if the Valley, and especially for Super Shark, when he does have his flicker, he's looking to hit 1 or 2 people. He's looking specifically for Lola or maybe even Panda. Panda is a little harder because he can get immune to CC for a little bit, or at the very least cleanse it. But with the help of Hoon, and I'm pretty sure he's very close to getting his next item. As soon as he gets that Ice Queen's wand, things are going to start changing.
Thing is, the Valley need to be very careful. With the way that they're rotating as 5, and that gives opportunity for Gary to try and pull another Echo. But look at this, Min is gonna get caught out here.
Oh, they need to be careful here as the Lord will not be committed. But now heavy spin as a defense. Is this the right move? Mama Zane gets taken down as the crossbow attack is just too huge. Finding the double. Can he get the triple? But oh my goodness, 4 bodies from the Valley is in the Land of Dawn.
Fried Chicken, the only one left to defend this base as Team Hack. They're looking to push that top and that mid side. Will it be enough here, Gani?
We'll see. We'll see. Base turret top side will fall here. Fried Chicken, the sole man, while charged as a Hail Mary. And there you go. Team Hack will find the dub against the NA Rep, the Valley.
The next upper bracket slot is going to fall to the Malaysian representatives. Congratulations, Team Hack. And wow, what a game by them. Beautifully executed. Very well done. Very aggressive from that early game. And it was so difficult for the Valley to get any opening on the board.
Upper bracket secured. Even the owner, he's like, nah, don't worry. This is only one step before we take our leaps of faith here at M4. But what a game. Very clean, very tactical, very much on the macro and split pushing of this map.
As an Akai, right, you really want to have that snowball early game to have a foundation. But unfortunately for the Valley, once that Akai like in the behind position, it's just so hard to find and turn the game around because you're an Akai, you're a tank.
Well, there were a couple of things, right? I definitely think that so far, Team Hawk was able to condition the Valley to play a lot more defensively. You notice with a lot of their builds, right? Oh, immediately we're seeing, Brute Force Breastplate, first item build, really depends on the player, but Hoon being more defensive oriented, allowing the rest of his team to try and catch up. I think he should have been really greedy there. I think he should have played for himself and be the secondary win condition for the Valley.
I love how things unfold like that, right? Because when I was looking at the drafts, I thought the Valley had an upper edge because Team Hack, they really wanted to rely on the 1-1, and the 1-1 got so countered with the Iritel being in the same lane, with the Lolita as well being placed on Super Shark. But the fact of the matter is, the execution in the game, the way that they played around these deficits actually gave them the edge.
And speaking of that lane swap, the big question in everybody's mind,
exactly,
how much of an impact was it? And I bet if we talk to the Valley, Basic and Fried Chicken are probably going to be like, man, that was really annoying, huh?
You're right. And I mean, it worked for them, right? Team Hack with the lane swap, and they can convert it to objectives. They can convert it to also gold, which just makes the playstyle ever more aggressive, right? Kadita lane, you can't invade jungles. It's just so hard for the Valley to be more proactive, I feel.
Proactive is tough. Proactive is really, really tough for a team fight composition. It's not like you can individually make that difference. You have to have 1 or 2 people behind you to help you out. And I don't know, in this particular game, I'm not sure how many of those moments they had for the Valley, but hopefully when we do see the item builds, we might get a bit of a better idea.
Wow, that was just such a well done performance once again. I think a lot of upsets as well. I mean, a lot of people predicted that it was the Valley's game to win, but it wasn't. Team Hack actually came on top, and the way that they're going by this, it's looking like the Malaysian region is a very strong one, because if I'm not mistaken, Todak was one of the first teams to secure that upper bracket slot as well.
Back in Group A, I don't know. It's either we're, the securers of upper bracket or the king of lane swaps. One or the other. I'll take both of those brandings.
Well, yeah, confirmed. 2 teams from Malaysia will secure the upper brackets. How are you feeling with that, Gideon?
Hey, come on, don't put the spotlight on me. You know how I feel about it. You can visibly see it. I'm just trying not to, toot my own horn too much here. But yes, looking at the items so far, Basic, again, he hit that 3-item power spike, but unfortunately with Irithel, you feel her get strong at 3 items. She feels invincible at 4 items. And that, again, so very close, yet so very far. Even Hoon sacrificing a lot of his gold to rotate across the map to try and help Basic out of his lane, and he sacrificed so much gold. He's only able to achieve 3 items, and by the time he got that Ice Queen's wand, it was way too late. Gary already with 4 items complete with the Malefic Roar as well, making it that much easier for them to take out bigger targets. For an example, Fried Chicken as well.
I mean, yeah, item-wise, they are just a little bit too behind there. You're right, Basic already 3 items, but it was just a little too late. Moving on towards Panda, though, he is just having fun. No shoes needed on this 1-1. Of course, Corrosion, DHS, Malefic Roar, Windtalker even, and I believe he wants to go, what? Is he going for a House Gloss, perhaps?
I think he was eventually going to build up into it, and I think that's when Basic was going to feel really good about himself at that point. But still, you would have to give credit to Panda. So far, playing a solid game, 6-0 and 2, almost max items at the same time of Wind and Natures to ensure that whatever aggressive play he has isn't going to be punished.
Again, Panda just knows when to pop off. Remember, it was quiet up in the gold lane for the early minutes. It's just 0-0-0 from both sides. But after collecting that Corrosion and DHS, he is just active, trying to look for pick-offs on that crossbow of Tang as well. And shout out to Gary, man. He is just crazily good on this lane.
Well, let's not forget about Lola. And I think he played a very interesting role that not a lot of EXP laners do in this meta as of right now, right? Yes, he did lane swap. Yes, he was able to kind of dominate the lane and get his lane advantage pressed against the Valley. But what happens afterwards? The lane swap, the way that he starts pushing in towards the river, the fact that his armor shred plays a huge important part for Gary without any items to feel relevant.
You're right. So let's just move on towards the stats here. Rich Guy, the carry, Sandbag, every category will fall to the hands of Team Hack.
Wow. Damage dealt is actually in the Valley's favor. They actually out-damaged Team Hawk throughout this game, and yet it was still that close, 12-8.
I think it's just Hoon effect, Eve effect. The damage is just huge. But yeah, you're right. I mean, just it happens to be the Valley who has more damage dealt.
Yeah, and that's why I'm really frustrated when I look at this draft from the Valley. It's so good, it's so smart, it's super standard, and everyone expects it to be effective in the later stages of the game. It's just that Hoon has to keep on losing farm to compensate everybody else across the map because of one lane swap. That's how frustrating it is. His total gold was only, what, 200 to 400 off of Super Sharks? And that's not something you want to see as a mid laner.
You're right, but I can't wait to see who will get the MVP. My vote is on towards Panda. Yeah. Team Hack, Panda on that 11602. How do you feel?
Honestly, I'm feeling really, really good. Panda got to show off a little bit this time round. He had a very simple lane up against Fried Chicken, who really can't close the distance until level 4. So a dominant laning phase. Mid-game comes around, his team is doing most of the work while he continues to dominate. And then when he has his items, you saw how aggressive he is. We saw the 5-man push up top side, we saw Lingo bot, and we saw Panda be like, yo, come on, who wants it? Who wants it? 1v1 me, bring it right now.
That is also why 1-1 is still a prio hero in the M4 stage. Not a lot of 1-1s we see, because it's always manned out, but once you get to see it, it's like this.
It's just so good. It's so valuable. Panda played such a good game. I do feel that, with the complementary lane swap as well as Ling being, slingshotted way further in the future than I would have liked, it was a brutal, brutal game.
Well, I can't wait to also see the highlights here get in. What in particular did Panda did and the rest of Team Hack did to claim the dub against the NA rep. So yeah, my God, I'm
you're in shock. It feels like you're in septic shock right now. It feels like you weren't expecting this, were you?
Well, because Brazil, I expected somebody from the West to enter the upper bracket low key. But then Team Hack showed a very, very strong performance.
Honestly, this just shows that the format of M4 during the group stages, you can never count a team out here. Even S11 being able to turn things around again against RRQ Akira. If this was a best of 3, it'd be a very different story. But these bests of 1, we're really getting like an appetizer for the upcoming knockout stage.
Woo! So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's see the highlights. Team Hack versus the Valley. What did we miss? What is going to be featured in this highlight?
I'm curious to see how many moments that we didn't catch on camera itself. Maybe in the highlights we get to see a little bit more of some of the micro mechanics that really made the difference here, because there were moments where I wasn't 100% sure whether Kadita actually landed the stun, or maybe it was, Fire Chicken going in for that wild charge and the knockup where, when your animation is just standing still, you're going to assume that he was CC. So let's jump into these highlights and really start breaking it down. Because number one, you have to give it to Mobazane. He's really good at those retributions, and Team Hawk had to adjust to make sure they could zone him out rather than letting him in.
Yeah, I mean, even so, right, Team Hack, they do not just stand idly by. Even though they lost on the neutral objective, they managed to find more compensation, effective team fights. Take a look at this. This was the moment where that heavy spin just lands perfectly, but this is where Panda started to pop off. Yeah, I mean, after that, after this lore, it's just all for Team Hawk.
Yeah, I mean, this Lord fight was interesting. If I was in Team Hawk's position, I would not have taken this fight, but with that instant pickoff and Lola saying, hey, Basic is already down. They're going to be lacking damage. Hoon is underfarmed. You can absolutely win this fight. That's why they're the pro players, and I'm just scared, man.
You're the caster here, but I mean, it's just clear after minute number 9 that Team Hack is just so confident, taking fights everywhere. And let's just jump into Eterna for the interview. Let's see. Eterna, take it away.
Thank you so much to our lovely